Coming to Copenhagen.
Well, well, well. Look who has returned. Tail between their legs. The world's worst vlogger. The world's most inconsistent vlogger, should we say, actually. Consistency with vlogging has never been my strong point, though, has it? And what was supposed to be like a bit of a 2-week hiatus turned into a 5-week hiatus. Absolutely no intention, though. Just life has just got in the way, and mainly just the balance of renovating and work is quite a juggle, and as a result all of any spare time that we've had has been spent at the new house getting as much done as possible, because we're now kind of entering a real pivotal stage where it's that final push to get the 3 rooms that we need to get done so that we can move in, because this house needs to be handed over to its new owner pretty soon. So yeah, just a big push, which means that I've not really given myself the free time to sit down and edit a vlog. I've been vlogging, certainly been vlogging. I've got tons of footage over the last few weeks, well, 4 to 5 weeks. But yeah, just haven't really sat down and edited it. So this week's finally felt a little bit calmer, hence why you are finally getting a vlog. So it's potentially going to be a big one. Grab yourself a drink, some snacks, sit back and relax. We've got a bit of Cornwall in there. Went on a trip to Cornwall. I've been to Copenhagen. I turned 33. What else has there been? There'll just be like general catch-ups, a bit of running. So yeah, I think there'll be a bit of everything in this one. So I do hope you enjoy it. And yeah.
Trigger warning, you're about to have 30 seconds of me, red-faced, just gushing about how much I love running. But I do love it so much. Sometimes I get emotional about it. It makes me feel like I'm about to cry sometimes. I think because it makes me feel so headstrong and just really, I mean, I know a lot of it's to do with endorphins, but I just feel like when I'm running regularly, the mental clarity is like unmatched to anything I've ever tried, like yoga or meditation or just like mindfulness things, like headspace and that. There's something that running does that I've not been able to find in any other sort of like activity, and I am so glad that I'm back on it. I don't know why I kind of fell off it. I think just like weather, work, life, all it takes is like a week or 2 of not running and then you fall out of it very quickly. So I really hope that I can keep this up, at least for the summer.
I'm shortly heading to Cornwall. It is quite a journey for me from Norfolk all the way to Cornwall, 2 completely opposite ends of the country. However, I know it's going to be worth the journey because I've been invited to a very big kind of like banquet dinner on the beach hosted by Laura Jackson. And if I know Laura Jackson, she knows how to put on a good spread of food. And she's also very good at like tablescaping and she's just an exceptional host. I've not seen her in a long time, so it'd be great to see her. But it'll also just be great to experience a dinner on the beach in Cornwall. I'm not just going down for a dinner, I'm going to stay in Cornwall. But I believe she's putting this dinner on at the beach that she got married on. But it's in collaboration with a beer company. So I'm very excited to see what she does. I'm trying to think what people would know Laura Jackson for. She's a TV presenter here in the UK, so people might recognise her face from the TV. She is also an exceptional cook, and she has a platform called Glassette, which is kind of a bit like the Matches/Net of homeware. It's just like this one-stop shop for just great homeware things. So she's a woman with many strings to her bow, but more than all that, she's really good company and she's a really good laugh. So I trust that she's going to put on a really good evening. But I've just got to get there first, and there's train strikes, so it's probably going to be a full day of travelling. but I'm going to stay the night obviously to make it worthwhile, and I'm so excited because Cornwall's beautiful and the weather is sensational down there according to Laura. She has said that the sun is shining, which is great because it's like kind of cold and raining here. Anyway, I shall see you all in Cornwall on the beach having a very dreamy dinner.
Cornwall, and this is my home.
The table's set, it's ready to go. All we need is you guys.
I gaze at the city, it is far away. For this is my Cornwall, and I'll tell you why. Because I was born here, and here I shall die. And no one will ever remove me from his land.
Only just made it to 7 kilometres. I really didn't think I was going to get there. You know, sometimes there are runs where it literally just feels like you are pulling a weight behind you, and that was one of those. I also had a really bad case of indigestion the whole way round as well, like it just didn't let up. Could have been due to just maybe being a bit inactive this week, like the whole feeling like I'm pulling a weight along with me. I've had a very sedimentary week. I've done a lot of sitting on trains, so that might not have helped. But also the indigestion, I think, just makes you feel so like crouched and sort of like hunched over. It's just really uncomfortable, but I was like, I'm not going to let this feeling defeat me. I'm going to make it to 7. And just on that last kilometre, Tears for Fears, Head Over Heels came on, which is like the song that pulls me through.
This is the part where I go to Copenhagen. I was there for 3 days of design, which is a huge celebration of Scandinavian design across 3 days. And the great thing about it is that anyone can get involved. It's kind of like Fashion Week, but for the design industry, but you don't need an invitation to any of it. You can just download the program off the 3 days of design website and pick and choose what you want to go to, and it's completely open to the public. So it's basically 3 days of walking around Copenhagen just looking at beautiful, beautiful design. There was just, yeah, it was just fantastic. There was so much to see. I think there was over 270 brands taking place. So basically all of the design houses, you know, furniture, homeware, lighting, they open up their doors and you can have a real good nosy around their showrooms. A lot of brands will coincide 3 days of design with a new release or like a collaboration. So I saw lots of like new furniture, new lighting, or it might be collaborations between artists. So it's a great way to promote those kinds of things. I was there with And Tradition because I'm going to be working with them this year, creating some content for some releases that are coming out this year. So it was a great opportunity for me to go over there and meet the team, just kind of immerse myself in And Tradition, see the products in real life, just kind of so I feel a bit more connected to the brand, and obviously immerse myself in the world of 3 days of design. It's such an incredible 3 days. There's so much to see. The buzz in the city is amazing. Like the weather was incredible, and I think because literally anyone can get involved, you know, you can go, it's completely open to the public. It meant that there was a really, really nice atmosphere in the city versus like when I go to Fashion Week, it sometimes feels like there's a bit of a barrier because so much of it is like invite only, obviously. So you're just walking around Copenhagen and every corner you turn, there's just something happening, and you can basically spend 3 days walking around Copenhagen, getting free coffee, free pastries, lots of free snacks, and then in the evening there is lots of free wine. So it's great. I loved it so much. So the footage that you see next will be all the disjointed clips of Copenhagen that I captured over the 3 days. It was fantastic, but it was also extremely busy, and it's very social as well. So often I didn't pick up my camera as much as I would have liked to, but hopefully you will still enjoy what I have captured of Copenhagen. Good morning. I'm now about to go for a run. I'm just trying to figure out where to go. It's very rare that I bring my running stuff with me when I travel. I think it's because I don't want to like sacrifice the case space, but because I've packed quite light this time, I did have the room to bring my running stuff. It's mainly my trainers. They take up so much room. But actually, Copenhagen, like I want to see as much of Copenhagen as I can over the next couple of days, and I figured going for a run in the morning would be a great way to see parts of it. And running around a new city is always really fun, I personally find. So I've been having a look at the map. I am the blue dot there, so I'm going to run around kind of like these sections of water. They do cover a lot of land, so I don't think I'm going to run around all 4 of them. I'll see how I get on when I get to like the second break and see how far that is. But I figured that would be a really nice part of the city to run around. I have walked past some of these lakes before, so I think that would be a lovely running spot. Okay, that was so nice. I made it round 3 of the lakes. I was like, I'm not going to push it to a 4th because I was getting quite hot and did feel a bit dehydrated. But that was great. Loved that. We'll be doing that again tomorrow morning. I now have 45 minutes to sort this out and then head like north of the city up to Osterbro, I want to say. Meeting some friends. I've got a meeting in that area, and then I'm going to head to Juno Bakery. Right, I'm going to try and attempt to show you what I'm wearing. Some might argue a black dress isn't the best option for 23, 24 degrees and walk around the city all day, but it's big, it's floaty, it's cotton, it's very breathable, there's plenty of room for ventilation in there. This is Raey, the mattress brand, from last summer, and actually I wore this loads when I came to Copenhagen last August, and that is possibly one of the last times it got worn, so it feels like it's returned home. I've been toying with whether I should wear a necklace with this or earrings. It does look really nice with a necklace because of the deep V, but every necklace I put on I just wasn't feeling. I just don't think I'm in a necklace mood today, so I've gone for earrings. These are from Tilda Jewels, an Australian jeweller, who I discovered when I was in Australia and bought a necklace from her. And then just as I was leaving, she got in touch and was like, oh, I'd love to gift you something. And I was like, oh, I bought a necklace from you. I'll leave her link below because all of her jewellery is so, so beautiful. And she actually sent, just spotted this is on top of my suitcase, she sent me this belt as well, which I think this is going to look really cool with, I've got like a really simple, like long black linen dress, like a sleeveless one, that this could look really cool, just loosely tied around the waist. Also with the pleats please, potentially. I really don't think the camera's going to do this justice because it's just so beautiful. And everything's handmade. Like, that is impressive. The bag is the Row Bindle. It's the only big bag I've brought with me. I brought a couple of evening bags, like little pouches, but this is the bag that I'm going to be wearing all week. And the sunglasses are not Ray-Ban Wayfarers, which are the sunglasses I usually always wear. I just fancied something like slightly more cat-eye and a little bit more thinner. These are from, is it Garrett Lee or Garrett Leet? Again, descriptions of links will be in the description box. Right, I'm running quite late, so I need to go. In by Milena Bay at the moment, trying on some bits because their new collection, not that you can see any of it here, is beautiful. I've had my eye on this top, but the black version, but unfortunately it's sold out. However, the woman who works here has been very helpful and has managed to track down the black version in my size in another shop. So I'm gonna head straight there because it's so beautiful. Like, oh. I do like the yellow, but you know me, like I would wear the yellow, but I wouldn't wear it enough. Ugh. Just in the COS changing room, I've done a lot of steps, and I was on my way back to the hotel and then walked past COS and was like, ooh, I'm on the hunt for this skirt that's sold out everywhere back home at the moment. And they have it, full size range, which is incredible. The hype of this white cotton skirt hasn't quite hit Copenhagen yet, so thank you, COS Copenhagen. Yeah, I've done a lot of steps and have really quite drained my phone battery quite a bit because I've taken about a gazillion photos. So I'm going to head back to the hotel, recharge my phone and just kind of recharge myself as well. Just have a drink, have a snack, cool down a little bit, just refresh, and then get myself ready because I'm going to go back out again this afternoon. It's like 3 o'clock at the moment. And I think that's me out for the rest of the evening, so I kind of want to make sure I'm not lugging like shopping bags around with me and stuff like that. So I kind of want to drop everything off at the hotel, refresh, and then go back out again. I'm heading to a Tekla and Artek event. I actually did just pop into the store because I kind of wanted to see it all before it got really busy, because they've basically displayed quite a nice amount of Artek, like original Artek furniture. And it's incredible to see the pieces like really worn and patinaed. There's some beautiful, beautiful pieces of furniture in there. So I will try and video some of that this evening. And then gonna go out for dinner with a couple of friends, I think. All in all, it's been a very good day, and I've bumped into a lot of people. It's been nice. Bumped into people I know, but also bumped into people who either watch or follow on Instagram. So if you are one of the people that has said hello today, thank you. I always find this happens a lot in Copenhagen actually, which surprises me. It happens more so in any other place. People will say hello in Copenhagen. I don't know whether that's because people are more friendly over here, or maybe I have more people watching videos and following my Instagram, who knows. Right, I'm going to try on this skirt and I'll show you. You're probably thinking, why on earth has a skirt so simple sold out everywhere in the UK? But I think just like it's the ease of it. It's got an elastic waist, it's got pockets. It's actually quite a nice thick cotton. It's what the people want, you know? I like it a lot. This is a 34. I'm wondering whether, I don't mind it skimming the ground, but because it's white, that is going to get dirty very swiftly. So I would probably have it taken up, not that much, like barely. I'd want it just skimming the floor, perhaps. Like, not skimming the floor, skimming the foot, you know? But yeah, sold, completely sold. I will be buying this. Right, evening look. Came back, had a small nap, and have got changed into just another comfy black dress, basically. It's the Izzy Miyake Pleats Please one, the kind of like ankle length one, with a pair of Teva or Teva, depending on how you like to pronounce it, sandals, which feel like a nice kind of contrast against the dress. Like, not that the dress is overly fancy, but I feel like bringing it back down with a pair of walking sandals makes a nice contrast. And then Bottega drop earrings, is that what they're called? These are the ones I got through Vestiaire. I think they're called the drop earrings. And then the Row Bindle. So tonight's quite a casual evening, very relaxed one, hence why I'm wearing walking sandals and just kind of keeping it really comfy and simple. Right, off I go.
can't quite believe the weather that I've returned home to. It's 9 a.m. and I'm out in a dress already. It's so warm. This is what we've been waiting for. I'm a bit low energy this morning. I'm just going out for a walk. I'm going to go via the bakery to get some coffee beans and a pastry. I think just social battery's just drained a bit. It's been a very social few days. And it's been great. It's been so nice, but I've just felt like I've just been non-stop talking the whole time I was in Copenhagen. And I have to say, thank you to anyone who said hello. And I don't mean to say this in like some like bragging way, like genuinely thank you if you did come up to me and say hello. I've never had so many people say hello in such a short space of time, and it always happens in Copenhagen, which I find really interesting. It rarely happens in London, it's always in Copenhagen. So thank you. I've like met so many nice people and had so many interesting conversations. So yeah, thanks for that. Had a fantastic few days. I wish I could have stayed longer, but unfortunately have other commitments this weekend that meant I had to come home pretty sharpish. So yeah, just gonna have a bit of a chilled day today. Maybe do a couple of things in the house, unpack, because I need to just recharge the social battery in prep for my friend's 30th birthday this evening. I need to prepare myself for an evening of lots of dancing and karaoke, because it's going to be that kind of 30th, and I'm really excited. Right now I feel really exhausted. Also, it doesn't help that last week I was doing an average of 30,000 steps a day, so my body alone feels quite drained as well. Sorry, that wind.
Hay fever is kicking my ass this morning. I woke up and immediately hay fever chose violence. I am waiting for our shower tiles to be delivered. Yay! It's been 10 long weeks waiting for these to be delivered. We were originally given a 6 to 8 week lead time, but then there was a delay with the manufacturing process in Italy. So then they said it's actually going to take 12 weeks. And then it was reduced to 10. Thank goodness it was reduced to 10, because honestly I think 12, if we had to have waited like an additional 2 weeks, we would be cutting this so fine. Like, we need to get out of the house pretty swiftly, like within the next, I would say, 4 weeks. So very glad that they're being delivered today. 10 weeks is still a long time. Naturally nowadays, anything outside of the UK has an extremely long lead time. It's just the way it is now. So I'm very glad I got them ordered when I got them ordered, because I think anything later we would have been hiring a Portaloo potentially. So while I wait for those to be delivered, I'm going to continue the packing process, because we have started packing and moving stuff over. We're basically taking anything over that we don't use every day, because we're going to do the moving process ourselves, and the best way to kind of manage that, because obviously it's such a big task, is by packing things in chunks and just taking it over as and when, and then eventually we will get to the point where all that's left is like the bare bones of the things that we use every day. And then there will all of a sudden just be a moment where we are like, right, it's time to take the bed over and the sofa and the dining table, and then that will be where we sleep, eat and live, and then this space will be no more. But that, like I said, that probably won't be until, I think, like a minimum of 4 weeks, maybe 5, we shall see. There's just this always terrifying moment where the estate agent could all of a sudden be like, right, this is the date you have to be out. So we're kind of like preempting that happening. So we kind of want to get ourselves into a place where it would only take us like 3 or 4 days to kind of get everything over and be fully moved out. So yeah, I'm gonna pack you have those cupboards that just have general stuff in? The stuff that never sees the light of day, but you've carried around with you for years and years and years. I'm going to pack up those cupboards. Do you know what? I think this is going to be a great exercise to fully like just get rid of stuff we don't need. I say we, it's more me. I'm the one that really clings on to stuff. Like Dean's quite sentimental about some things, and I'm quite sentimental about other things, and as a result, we have a lot of stuff that we've just clung on to for literally just sentimental reasons. I hate to think what is up in the loft. There are just boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff that we've just kept over the years. So yeah, it's gonna be, we just said to ourselves, like, we've got to stop this. We have to just be quite cutthroat, and because we can't just take all of this stuff over to the new house and just clog it up with things. So it'll be quite a good exercise to clear stuff out and then just pack what we actually need. So that's my job for this morning. I have just hauled about 20 boxes of these tiles in from the curb. God, I'm so hot and sweaty now. But they're here, and I could not be happier with them. If I do this, you can kind of get like a true representation of the colour. So it's not quite red, it's not quite brown, it's a very nice blend of the two. And there are just sheets and sheets and sheets of these ready to go in the shower room. Just some good old-fashioned basics today. The tiles have been delivered, so I can now head out and do returns and other post office duties. My Flintstone necklace. Who is it that actually wears an orange one? Is it Bam Bam, or is it maybe Fred? Because Wilma wears a white one, doesn't she? And Betty wore like more of a sort of like pendant. I feel like there definitely is someone in the Flintstones world that wears an orange one. Who knows? I'd be taking inspiration from a Flintstone. Tank is from Arcare. I like the thin straps on this as opposed to the sort of, it's just a nice change, I guess, opposed to the sort of like more higher necked racerback ones. The Row Bindle, as always. Cordera, kind of like canvas trousers, not quite denim, but not like a thin cotton. They're more of a sort of slightly thicker canvas. Very good balloon leg shape. Just plain black flip-flops, and not my Wayfarers. Can you believe it? Usually it is just Ray-Ban Wayfarers, but these are from Garrett Lee. I've had them for a while. And gravitating towards them more at the moment because they're a little bit kind of like slimmer than the Wayfarer. The Wayfarer comes down a bit further and is more rounded, whereas these square off a bit higher up and a little bit more elongated at the sides here. So they're not quite full cat eye, but they just feel a bit wider than a Wayfarer, which I think sometimes with just like basic pieces, I feel like sunglasses are a good way to kind of jazz something up a bit. Oh, my phone is ringing. Sorry, bye. Quick whiz round of the house to show you the current state and kind of just show you what we need to get done over the next 4 weeks before we move in. So the hallway's looking great. It's all painted. All that's left to do in here is just one final sand of the staircase, and then it will be stained. We've got all new spindles in that are ready to be stained. This just needs another light sanding before we stain it. You can see all the new spindles up there. It's so beautiful. When we first moved in, this was all boarded up, and we didn't really think, oh, we can just remove it. And it wasn't until actually Dean's dad came round and he was like, you do realise that the board is just like really cheap, thin board that's been used to kind of cover up the spindles. And he was like, if you strip it back, you can then put in all new spindles and it will look so much better. And I'm so glad we did, because the amount of light that now comes from that hallway window and just comes straight through here and just lights up this whole bit is so much nicer. I'll try to find some video footage of how it looked when it was all boarded up, but it was just like boarded up and glossed white. It didn't really look that nice. And now I feel like this is so much more, this is going to be, once it's all stained, so much more of a nice statement to walk into. So the stairs and the floor will all be stained the same colour. Moving on through, on the left hand side we have the lounge, which is pretty much finished. The only remaining job in here is painting the cove in and just kind of tidying this up a bit. We are not sure what we're doing with this yet. We don't know if we'll try and turn it into like a working fireplace or whether it will just be, you know, like a feature that doesn't actually function. But we do need to kind of maybe get that plastered potentially and just paint it so that it doesn't look like that whilst we're living here. But that's not something that we're going to figure out anytime soon. That will be something that we figure out once we're kind of in. So yeah, this space, I would say this and what you'll see in the moment, one of the upstairs bedrooms, are the most finished rooms. Like, this room could be furnished now. This is where we've started to move stuff in. Oh, I've just realised the back of that door needs painting. Yeah, we've got our new lights in. How nice do they look? We're going to lower them just a little bit, not too much because Dean is concerned he might bang his head, but I think they're just a little bit too high. And then back into the hallway on the left here is the kitchen. I mean, let's not talk about that. Garden, just letting the garden go wild, and we'll sort this all out maybe later on in the year. And then next summer we can really focus on it. These are my wood stain samples for the hallway and the stairs. Back through here, this is was a downstairs shower room. It is now no longer a functioning downstairs shower room and is just going to be a storage room, because the long-term plan is for later on this year. This room, this is an extension on the side of the house already, so this will be knocked down and we're going to rebuild it, and it will be a full-length extension that goes from the front of the house all the way to the back. It's hard to explain, but when we kind of get to that point where we've got a bit more of a plan, I can share that. So that's a room that will just have the door shut, and actually no, we're going to, for the time being, we're going to use it as a utility. I was wrong, because we got our electrician to just put in some temporary plugs in here, and our plumber's just popped in all the pipes for a washing machine, because we don't have any space in this kitchen to have a washing machine or a dryer. Like, there's literally no space for anything. So there's barely any room for a fridge actually. We're hoping we can squeeze our fridge in behind the door. Anyway, so this will kind of be like a utility space for the time being. Then upstairs, like I said, all of this is all painted now, looking so much nicer. So I'll start on the very far left. This room here has had nothing really done to it since the wallpaper got stripped, because long-term plan for this is we're hoping we can do a 2-story extension and make this room a bit bigger, but that is not set in stone. So at the moment, this will just be, you know, shut the door and kind of ignore it situation. This room will be a temporary wardrobe room, just while we're kind of figuring out the upstairs. So I've just painted everything white, just like primed it, so that at least it looks clean. And then we will figure out a plan for this. But yeah, for the time being, this will just be where all of our clothes are living. Eventually, long term, this would be lovely to have as a guest bedroom. Sorry, I'm really out of breath. Guest bedroom / office space. And then it would be lovely if this room was made bigger and was turned into a main bedroom, and then this was like a kind of more of a wardrobe space. But at the moment, this is going to be our main bedroom. So this is all painted, the floor is all done. We just need to give it a bit of a wipe because it's dusty. This is the room that's probably the cleanest. I'm using it today to film a reel in. Hello. That door still needs stripping and painting. And then the bathroom, unfortunately, it's all boarded up because we're still waiting for windows. And because Dean's not here today working on it, usually when he's in here working, he opens up all you can just see the windows are literally just boarded up. He will have them open, but you can still see the progress of the bathroom. Still got a long way to go. This whole side here needs tiling still, and yeah, there's a lot that he's doing over the next 4 weeks. But this window's being changed for an oak window, and this will be an oak window along with this one. So those 3 windows should be here in the next, we're hoping in the next sort of like 2 to 3 weeks actually, because they've been on order for quite a while now. So fingers crossed they'll be in for when we move in, because it would be really nice to actually have windows in here and not live with it being like this. And that is the house at the moment. This feels like a good place to end the vlog. It's currently the 4th of July, the day I'm actually sat editing this vlog, and I've kind of got to a point where it feels like a good roundup of all of the footage that I wanted to kind of catch you up on from the last couple of months. Bit of Cornwall, bit of Copenhagen, and a bit of house stuff. I was just looking at my calendar and had the very scary realisation that we need to move. We have to be moved out of here within the next 2 weeks and 3 days. So a week on Friday, 2 weeks on Friday, which is absolutely terrifying and has all of a sudden panicked me. And I'm now thinking, are we on schedule? mainly in terms of the packing. That's what's terrifying me. But it's one of those jobs that if you just dedicate like a few days to, you get really ahead. And I think we just haven't had the chance to do that because we've been doing it in dribs and drabs. I think we just need to do a kind of like dedicated couple of days to just get loads of stuff over there, and then I won't feel so panicked. So that also leaves me questioning how the next couple of weeks looks in terms of content. I can't promise anything hugely exciting. I think the next vlog is going to be maybe like a bit of a focus on kind of like clearing out my closet, not like hugely, but I do anticipate a bit of a Depop and maybe a Vestiaire collective upload. Normally I don't announce these things and I kind of do it on the sly, but I think what I'll do in the next vlog is I will properly announce when I'm going to be putting things up on Depop and Vestiaire collective, so that it gives people a bit of a better chance to grab some things. So keep on the lookout for that for the next vlog. I imagine that will be the weekend of the 15th/16th of July. So yeah, join me on the journey over the next few weeks of moving house and then unpacking. We haven't done this for so long and I've kind of forgotten how much of an upheaval moving house really is, and just how kind of like all over the place you feel when you do it. Like at the moment I just feel like my brain is just like but it's very exciting at the same time, isn't it? Right, I'm going to wrap it up and not ramble so much. Thank you. A massive thank you for your patience. I feel like I really want to stress how grateful I am for the patience of people, of you people, because I just, yeah, I'm a bit all over the place at the moment, just in terms of like juggling things basically, and vlogs have been the first thing to slip. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this big old catch up, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.